1.
Wow, we are live.
Fuck yeah.
You dared me to do it, so I did it, Damo.
I did it.
Yeah, screw you. Yeah. What episode are we up to?
Number 66.
Are we
That's
actually?
3 more from the funny number.
Yeah. Well,
Isn't that right, mate?
66 is a good number, right?
Good number. What do you think, Mako? Do you think 66? Do you think 3 more than 66 is a funny number?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that,
all right,
Alex,
so-
who's the guest tonight?
Okay, yeah. So that's usually my job, all right? So Cameron Bowden, g'day, mate.
Hello.
How you doing? Yeah.
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm sweaty. It's hot in this fucking room.
Pretty toasty in here.
It is very. We got fans on. It's still so warm. Like sweating my ass off. But so you go on the name Maker, right?
Don't fucking do it.
I'm not doing it.
Don't do it.
I'm not doing it. I'm not going to make a pun. But where'd the name come from? Who are you? What do you do? Tell me about you. Like,
So
G'day.
it's funny though. The name Maker doesn't actually really have any like story behind it. I honestly was trying to think of a new DJ name, and I came up with it while I was in the shower.
Yeah.
There's not like any like
it's not a bad name at all, honestly.
it's alright.
It's like
It's not bad.
It's I don't know anyone else called Maker, so yeah, there you go. Like,
Well, I didn't until I tried to verify my artist name on Spotify. Turns out there's a lot of them.
okay.
Yeah, so
Shit.
but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the only one making drum and bass, so
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
So you're a producer then?
Yeah, well, I like to think of myself as one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I dabble in the old production, so I've been doing that for a little while now, and DJ and mixed drum and bass also.
Yeah. All right. So DJing, producing, the whole lot. How did you get into
whole
that?
shebang.
Yeah. Tell me about your career.
my-
I mean, before we started, you were telling us like you started with 16-year-old fucking raving and like happy hardcore and stuff a bit.
Yeah, so I used to I don't know. I guess the whole oh shit, there's a cat in here.
Yeah, that's my little sass cat. He's all right. He's friendly. He might get on the table, but I have to kick him off.
Cat can get on the table.
Yeah.
All right, podcast is over.
No, cool. We're going to do podcast.
So I think the whole kind of journey started was when I got into the rave scene. I think I was working at like Hungry Jack's in Midland, and I just kind of made some friends while I was working there, and those friends like went to raves, and I think I went to my first Force rave at Skate International when I was
Force as well.
Yeah,
back in the day with Force.
Force raves. Yeah, I think the first one I went to was like maybe like 2009, 2010.
Oh, way back in the day when you could just turn it up as loud as you want. And
Yeah,
you'd be fine.
yeah. When raves were like the big thing, so
Yeah.
I used to go to those, and I had some friends from a. It's not there anymore, but it was a LAN cafe in Midland called Lanaholics.
Okay.
One of my best friends, his parents used to own it, so pretty much like that crew would go to these Force raves, and then I think I met someone who was like dabbling in sort of DJing, and I like took an interest in it, and I think I was at a party and there was like a CDJ 100 and like an iPod, and I just like pissed around on that. It was nothing like really serious, and then
Still like CDJ 100, was it? So non-rewritable ones where it's like you have to burn the music onto the CD and that's it.
No USB drive, no BPM like counter or anything. It was just like a pitch bender and this jog wheel that didn't really do anything. So
Lovely.
yeah, just like
That bad boy.
yeah,
one of those things.
Yeah, one of them
I've
old
seen them around
dusty
in
old
this
things.
thing.
Yeah, it was crazy.
things are
and
so
those
classic.
those 3 blue buttons were the effects, and like to get the effects, you would like turn the jog wheel to get them. Like they were cool little things, but yeah, they were fucking
They're
pieces
pretty powerful,
of shit.
bro.
They were pretty powerful.
Yeah, they're pretty
Oh.
powerful.
Yeah, well, back in the day, mate, they're kind of just like glorified CD players, I guess you could say. Walkmans, right?
Yeah,
Pretty
with
much,
with
yeah.
3 effects.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Walkmans never came with effects.
No, that's it, right? They were the one step up. The CDJ 100.
CDJ 100. It was weird though with Pioneer. They went like CDJ 100 and then like 1000 and then back to 400 and then like 900, 750. I don't know how they kind of do their numbers.
Yeah, they're all over the place. Now they're
Yeah.
at the 3,000 mark as well. And it's like, well, you had 2,000s, but where's a 2,400?
I actually just, one of my mates has a CDJ 3000 and I got to have a little play around with it on
What do
Saturday.
you think? Any good?
Dude, they're pretty cool, but they're a giant waste of money.
Yeah.
Like they're
that's
pretty
it.
sick, but I would never buy one.
That's a misconception. People always think, like, oh, like I've got a few mates like that when the Nexus models came out, 2000 Nexuses.
Yeah.
You know, they did FIFA. They went out and got them, and it's like $12,000, $10,000 for a brand new set.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a house
what
deposit.
are you doing? No,
It's a house deposit.
that's it. It's a good car.
Yeah.
Like, $12,000 car is not a bad car.
Yeah,
like,
I know, right? It's crazy.
yeah, but people spend it on that kind of stuff, though. I guess like.
Hey, if you got the money, to be fair, like I say, I wouldn't buy CDJ 3000, but if I had that disposable income, I would.
Yeah,
do
you
it.
just
I'd do it.
set up a DJ room. Yeah,
Yeah, pretty
who
much.
wouldn't? That's
yeah,
the
exactly.
thing.
If you're in the position to be able to blow money on multiple 3000s, like, go for broke.
That's it. Go for
Yeah,
it.
literally, go for broke.
Yeah. So then after the CDJ 100 and the iPod, how was that? Like,
So I think after that, because they weren't mine, so I think after that I just bought myself just a cheap setup. Like I think I bought 2 CDJ 100s and a Behringer 2-channel mixer, and I just taught myself how to mix. Just mixing happy hardcore and
nice.
yeah, just trying to like break into the scene. It was like, if I'm gonna be honest, it was pretty hard. Being this 16-year-old little raver kid, like no one really takes you seriously.
That's it. You can't really get into clubs or bars.
No, so like all I could do was play at raves, and like it was pretty difficult. Like they had their own sort of thing, and without like bagging everyone out, I guess it was just like. It was kind of like, if you're not going to open the door for me, I'm going to kick it down. Like I'm going to make myself known.
That's good though.
I'm going to make a statement, and yeah, I did that, and I got to play at these raves, and
that's great though, because that's the thing is like a lot of people see that and like, oh, I don't know how to get gigs. Oh, I'm going to stop doing it now. But if you're just like, no, I want to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to kick the door down.
Yeah.
Go for gold.
Yeah.
And like, look at you now. Like you're doing it. Like 12 years later, you're still mixing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So like, I'd play at these raves, and I think I did that for about 2 years, and I think after that, I guess I just kind of fell out of love with that sort of scene. It was starting to take a turn that I wasn't really agreeing with, and I think. Yeah. There were certain things and it starting to come into play, like the Rise closed, and
that's it. Yeah,
I think like it's obviously no secret that people like who go to raves would dabble in illicit substances and stuff, and I think a lot of them kind of started to get taken hold by them.
Yeah.
So like
addiction, the whole lot.
Yeah, and there were towards the end of it, well, the end of my sort of involvement in the scene, I guess it kind of ended on a bit of a bad note, but. That was sort of as I started moving into drum and bass, and like I got sort of hooked up with the Inhibit crew. Like I started making really good friends with them, and started going to Shape and all the like drum and bass nights and like dubstep nights.
Such an institution.
That place was an institution, absolutely. Yeah,
back in the day.
Yeah. My first ever club set was at Shape. I think it was like a 3 a.m. closing set at like the Switch or something.
No shit.
Yeah.
How old were you as well?
I think I would have been maybe about 20 or 21. Yeah, I think I would have been about 20. And yeah, I was just trying to get my name known there. And there used to be this this DJ competition called the Homegrown Freaks Comp.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I won the Perth Heat by half a point, and that just started everything.
Yeah, that's good.
I won a trip to Melbourne to go and play in the finals over there. I think I came like third or something.
Still, that's not bad.
Which was cool, but I think like
it's still top 3.
Yeah,
which is still pretty good.
Yeah,
but.
I think the real winner was winning the Perth Heat though.
Yeah. Well, it kind of gives you like it puts you up there in a way, but it's like it not so much puts you up there, but it's like it opens doors and gives you opportunity.
Fuck it opened some doors. That it did.
That's good though. That's exactly what you want, right?
Yeah, I think with like Perth is the drum and bass capital of Australia. Like it always has been.
Yeah, 100%.
Arguably it would be the second biggest city in the world for drum and bass.
Exactly, it's like
under London.
Yeah,
well, London's the birthplace of it, I guess.
That's it. Yeah.
Like I mean, New Zealand's like kicking ass, man. Like the last I was watching like Netsky just did a show at a packed out stadium, like Delta Heavy, like Dimension, Subfocus. They've all just been touring NZ, the only places in the world to be doing it. Like,
and it'd be such a good place to tour as well.
So cool.
Mountains, the cold, it'd just be so nice. Like, sheep everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I'm originally from New Zealand, so
really?
I moved here 15 years ago.
Oh, no way.
About that long ago. Yeah.
Really? Like, what made you want to move? Just family and stuff?
Yeah, I moved here with my parents when I was 15, just for like I think they were sort of chasing jobs over here and like with the money, and the economy is a lot better than New Zealand was like during the mining boom. So then I guess I just kind of stayed here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, this competition, like winning the Perth heat, just like one of the prizes for it was I got to play at Villa to support Mephius and Mind Vortex, which were like two of my like idols in drum and bass. And
that's
then
pretty cool.
Yeah, it just kind of snowballed from there. Like I would be playing shows almost every weekend, like playing at Metro City. I played there a couple of times. Like I got to support Noisia at Metro City. And
no way. That would have been pretty cool. Did you get to meet him at all?
Yeah, I got to meet them. They're nice guys. They're pretty quiet dudes, but yeah, they're cool.
It's so whack with that, right? Because like most of those big names, they're usually just introverted almost. Because I mean, when they're
glorified nerds.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
glorified nerds. That's it. And it's one of those things where if you're always touring and you're a massive name, you know, you're always tired.
Yeah,
you're just exhausted because like you catch a plane the day after, kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
And you go somewhere else and go play somewhere else, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys, like, you know, like, yes, they're famous DJs, but at the same time, like, they sit in a room on a computer just like all of us, making fucking weird sounds on a computer.
That's it. They're just normal people.
Yeah, just normal human beings.
Yeah.
But that
happen
weekend,
to be fucking nerds.
Sorry, nerds. But yeah, that weekend was like pretty nuts. Like that Friday, I played at Villa supporting Zomboy.
Oh, really?
And then the next day I played at Metro City supporting Noisia. And then the next day I flew to Bali to go play at a festival with like Pendulum, Gorillas, Delta Heavy, Shock
Really?
One. Yeah.
No way. What festival was that?
It was a festival called Forgotten Island. So
can you Google that, Damo? That sounds amazing.
It's not around anymore. That was the only one that ended up happening.
Really? So it was just a one-off kind of thing.
Yeah, a second one was going to happen, but dodgy promoters, it didn't end up happening.
And payments and stuff like that. That's what happens in like, you know, different countries kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like America kind of has it sort of.
Fire Festival.
Yeah, that's it. Fire Festival. Look at that as well.
Yeah. It was this, so I never went to the second one. So after the first one, like a bunch of Perth guys went over there and pretty much played off it. Like we played off our own backs. We didn't get paid for it or anything. And, yeah, that's the one. And then they tried to do the second one, but because the promoter, now this is all allegedly, allegedly due to the promoter not paying the venue. I think they were going to do the second one on Gili Island, and like Danny Bird was going like a couple. I remember only Danny Bird going because he ended up being stuck on Gili Island because the Indonesian Navy was blocking people from leaving because the promoter hadn't paid anyone.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it got hectic.
The Indonesian Navy.
Yeah, so we just kind of backed off from that.
Yeah, it's like no, I don't want to get involved in that.
Yeah, but yeah, that weekend was something else. So that weekend was probably like a highlight of DJing and everything.
That's it. Like Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, fly out
to Bali for a week.
There's worse places to be trapped on than this. But then again, there's
that
nothing
is
on
true.
there. Then again, there is no. So you'd be trapped in there for a week. Be like,
and there's just boats circling you.
Yeah, you're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die in a tropical paradise.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, just imagine being Danny Bird, like flying to Indonesia and then being stuck on the fucking island.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to leave.
That's it.
Crazy.
Like, come on, I got a gig to go to. Like, I got to be in America and LA or something like that.
So I don't want to die. I want to die out in a fucking tropical island. I mean, it's pretty lit actually.
I could think of worse places. Yeah.
But how was that though? So, because how long did the festival go for? Just like 2 days or a day or?
No, I went for like 4 or 5 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they.
So did you go like every day the first time? Like.
So the first night was at this place called Pyramid nightclub, and it was. I've never been to anywhere like it. It was huge. It was this huge venue, and I got to open for it. And that night was Pendulum and Shock One were playing, and like that night was fun, but in like typical Australian fashion, no one knows how to pace themselves. So like they're going as hard as they can the first night, and it's like, guys, we got like 4 days ahead of us of this. And then like Slumberjack was playing on it as well. Like Illy, like there are a bunch of like there were a few like massive artists, but there were also like quite a few guys at the time that were just on like the come up who are now like pretty big and established.
That's it, like Illy's pretty big.
Illy's huge.
And look at Slumberjack as well. Like,
Slumberjack's massive. Like they were living in LA at one point.
Yeah, well, and then they came back to COVID. They were living there for like 4 years or something like that.
Nicole Miller was playing as well. There was a Kite String Tangle.
Really, Kite String Tangle as well.
There was
what year was this? Because this would have been.
This was like 2015, 2016.
Yeah, they blew up. Kite String Tangle went massive.
Yeah, there was another one. There's another guy who I can't remember his name, but he's like a pretty renowned rapper now. It'll come to me. I'll try and think of it. I'm not a fan of him, but he's pretty
But still, like for Gorillas to even get booked as well. Did you see them at all? Like see Damon Albarn?
So it was a Gorillas DJ set.
Okay.
So it was one. So I don't know if his name is Remy Kabaka. I think he was one of the percussionists or like a drummer for them. Really cool dude. Like he's done pretty well for himself. Like he was telling me stories about him hanging out with like Snoop Dogg and stuff while they were like recording one of their albums. But yeah, so like they would do these nightclub parties at like different venues around Bali, and then you would have like pool parties during the day. Like there was one pool party where like Goldie was playing. Yeah,
Goldie would have been so good.
Yeah, really cool dude as well. Like one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. Like,
really, you've met Goldie?
I met Goldie.
No way. Pull him up. Pull up his teeth as well.
He was he was on Snatch.
Really,
the Guy Ritchie film. Yeah,
Ritchie film.
Yeah, you know Guy Ritchie, the director.
Yeah, kind of.
So yeah, so
he was.
Yeah, he was in Snatch.
He was this guy.
So it's a movie it's got like Jason Statham and stuff in it.
Okay, no way.
Yeah, so he was in that. He was also in a James Bond film as well. Must have been a really old one. But yeah, if you haven't seen Snatch, watch it. It's an absolute classic film.
It's a good movie.
It's really good. It's fucking sick. It's such a good movie. Guy Ritchie's like an amazing director. But
so how was Goldie though? Like, what was he like? It's just like, was he quiet as well? Was he party?
Nah.
This?
Yeah, do you honestly think that guy's gonna be quiet? Like, that's what I mean. Not a chance. Nah, he's a really cool dude. He's cool. He's a bit weird, but like he's a bit eccentric. He really likes his Bikram yoga. I think that ended up being our main topic of conversation.
Really?
Yeah, because I think he like ripped his shirt off in front of me and was like, "Can you pull?" There were all these acupuncture like stickers on his back. So I'm basically like pulling these stickers off Goldie while he's telling me about yoga. I was like, when does this ever happen? Like,
yeah, that's it. You're hanging out with an actual like superstar.
Yeah, like a legend of like he got a medal from like royalty and stuff.
Yeah,
like he was hanging out with David Bowie like back in the day.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that's
pretty offered shit if he was hanging out with Bowie. Like.
Yeah, he's done a pretty massive service to like not just drum and bass but just like electronic music, especially in the UK. Like
100%.
Yeah, but the festival itself, like, I think I was probably more tired getting home than when I left. It was intense. There was a lot of early starts, late finishes, and it wasn't even just from playing. Like most of the like Perth crew were like helping out, like the events running smoothly and everything. Yeah, it was just so much. I remember there's just so much traveling because it was just at so many different venues. I think the last night I didn't even end up going just because I was so wrecked. I was like,
I'm surprised though. It's like 3 days, 4 days, just going out
and boat parties as well. There were boat parties too. Like it was just everything.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, and it wasn't even just from partying. It was just from just doing so much in such little time.
Yeah, it just sounds so much fun though. Like
it was cool.
It was
a cool experience.
Like, eye opener kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like not everyone gets to meet Goldie and peel acupuncture stickers off his back.
It was very, very strange.
Who else did you meet as well?
At the festival?
Yeah. Or who else have you played for as well? Like, have you met on Friday? Did you meet Zomboy at all?
Yeah, I met Zomboy.
How was he? Because he's once again a legend in the scene.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. He I think most of like the guys you meet, unless they're like a real like dickhead, they kind of all sort of blend into one. Like most of the guys I have met, there's not really many people I can say I've met where I've come away with a negative experience. They're all just really cool dudes. Yeah.
That's it though. It's like it gets to a point, and that's when the ego kind of takes over in a way. Like I've been told Diplo's an absolute wanker, but then like that's only from like 3 or 4 people that I do trust. Yeah. But it's like at the same time, it's people are people.
Diplo's also an A-list celebrity.
Exactly as well.
He meets like unless he's like directly told you like I don't want a photo with you, fuck off. Like
no, but like I've been told where he's just like, all right, my turn, get off stage kind of thing.
Okay, that's pretty rude then. Yeah, like, fair enough. Okay, Diplo.
It's like, all right, I'm not worthy.
Yeah, fair enough.
But then like on the other side, I've heard where like Skrillex is just like an absolute amazing guy. Humble, great looking, just a good dude. Like,
I've heard from multiple people he's really nice. I actually got to briefly talk to him. I never met him in person, but when he was just as he was like starting to blow up with the whole Skrillex thing, he still had a personal Facebook page.
Oh, really?
Because he was like really big on MySpace and everything when he was in
from First to Last.
That's one. And I think it was when I was doing like Happy Hardcore and I was making tunes and stuff. I actually sent a song to him, and he had to listen to it and like gave me a bit of feedback, and then gave me his email address to send him more stuff. But I think by the time I got around to it, he just like skyrocketed and I never ended up hearing back from him again. But yeah, it was cool to have that like brief interaction with him.
Yeah, it's still pretty cool. It's like just before they became fucking superstars. Like
but one of my friends, he's actually from Perth, Liam Underwood. He does, well, I guess he probably still does. He does all of Skrillex's like tour photography and videos.
Oh yes, I've heard of this guy. Actually. Yeah, he's from Perth.
He's from Perth. A
guy I know who isn't around that much anymore. He actually was like best mates with the dude.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And
Liam, apparently he got offered to go and DJ with them and like be an opening for them and stuff like that. But then apparently what happened was the girlfriend was just like, no, it's either me or the job kind of thing.
Take the job, man.
Yeah, and he took the girl instead, and then like he broke up with her like 6 months later or something like that. So she broke up with him or whatever happened. But that guy though, Liam, like he. Yeah, because I remember when I wasn't there, but he's told me about the story when Skrillex when he first played in Australia. He played at what was that place? It was across the road from Capitol. They used to do Red Cans there. Republic. Okay, yeah.
So it used to be this dirty pub, well, not pub, but bar. When Capitol used to be open, it was down that alleyway across the road from it, and Skrillex played his first ever Australian show there, and like Ollie Sykes from Bring Me the Horizon was there as well, and it's just bizarre. And yeah, I think Liam interviewed him, like did a video interview, and then I think Sonny like hit him up, and then did like, I think when Skrillex came here and played, he did all his tour photography, and then Knife Party got in touch with him, and he toured some tour overseas with him, and then like Mode Step, and it just snowballed from there. And then he just became his personal tour like vlogger and photographer, and like now he's hanging out with The Rock, like filming his wedding and like working out with him. He was at the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. Like the dude is killing it. Killing it.
And all it took was just like to put his hand
just
up.
Just chance. It's just how the universe all falls
the right
falls
place
together.
at the right time kind of thing. That's it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But that's where it is. It's like you got to put your name out there. You got to try. And like you said, if you don't, kick the door in.
Kick the door in.
You got to go. Well, no, like I'm going to do this in a way.
Dare to be different.
That's it.
Got to be
unique.
Risks.
You have to be. Like that's what a lot of people don't realize as well. It's like if you make drum and bass, right? You can't just make drum and bass the same as everyone else kind of thing. You got to throw your own little style into it and make your own unique thing about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you make your DJ profile, you got to be completely unique as well.
Pretty much,
No,
You gotta have like your own flair and personality to everything.
That's it, and that's what it really comes down to. Is because it's like, you can't just be like your next. You can't be like your neighbor in a way. You have to be your own person almost. Like. But
going deep down the rabbit hole.
Should we have a psychological session?
Yeah, exactly. Turn those lights down.
That's it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, who else have you supported then as well?
I don't know, like
quite a few,
I've been like super blessed to play some pretty awesome shows. I think. Like another Metro City show I did, I got to play on the hospitality tour. I think.
Oh, that would have been pretty cool.
London Electricity was on there. Fred V and Graphics. I've supported Fred V and Graphics I think twice now.
That's really good. Those guys are.
I've been like lucky enough to become like really good friends with them as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the last time I.
Bit jealous there.
Yeah, the last time I actually saw them. And like we ended up going back to their hotel, and me and Graphics just watched Lord of the Rings. Like, they're such awesome guys. Like I have so much time for them, and like every time they always come here, it's always a good time.
Yeah.
But I think who else? Fred V and Graphics. It's been such a long time though. Like I took a 4-year break from doing music, so like all those artists I've supported and like the past and stuff, it all kind of becomes like a bit of a blur.
That's it. Yeah, like. Why did you take a 4-year break? Don't mind me asking.
No, that's fine. I think after because it had been just all in on doing music, and I think I put so much pressure on myself to succeed in everything, and then when it wasn't quite going in the direction that I'd hoped for, and also there were also like a lot of other factors and everything as well, and I think I just got really burnt out. I burnt out pretty hard, and it took a massive toll on my mental health and everything, and I just felt like I needed to take a step back. And when I originally stopped doing music, I thought I was stepping away for good. Like I said, like I'm done. Like I'm done with music. I don't want to do it anymore. And yeah, like the break was good. The break was pretty difficult. Like when you've devoted so much of your life and like that is who you are, like that is kind of your thing. When you lose that, it's like, you know, I probably had a bit of an identity crisis for like 4 years. Yeah. Didn't know who I was anymore. I had to try and find a thing to fill that void, and
that's it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So the similar thing, like when COVID happened, we had the very first lockdown, and it's like when I got told about it, and when me and my mates just figured it out, and it's like, okay, what happens now? Like, are we DJs anymore? We work at hospitality.
Who are we?
Yeah, it's like, do bars even open anymore? Yeah. Like, are clubs ever going to be open? Like, is this going to spread around the world and people are going to die? Which they are dying, which is really unfortunate. But it's like, what happens now? And I've been DJing for like 10 years. Yeah. And I've been doing it professionally for like 4 or 5 years now. Yeah. And it's like, I've put my heart and soul into it. And when that happened, I just like, I fell apart at the seams, basically. Like, didn't know what was going to go, what was going to happen. Yeah, and then like now hectic. It's like I picked the pieces back up and put myself back together, I guess you could say, and like I feel a lot better now. Yeah. But it's just like that's what happens with music as well. Like the music industry is that people put their time, they put their heart and soul into it. Yeah. And then they take a turn, or something happens, or they have a kid, or whatever happens, and it's like unexpected things happen. Yeah. And you got to figure out what's more important.
Yeah, and I guess like the whole mental health thing, and especially like electronic music is such a big thing, and it's not like it is talked about, but it's not really something that's like focused on very heavily. Like you know, a lot of what you see on social media, and especially with people that are in music, is you just see all their I'm doing this and I've achieved this and I'm hanging out with this guy and I'm playing this show, but you don't see like
the other side
behind the scenes, like them grinding every single night, like, you know, working on one tune for months, just trying to get this mix down out, and then, you know,
that's it. Yeah.
You might, and then at the same time, like you might put the tune out and it might not do that well. It's like, fuck, there's 3 months of my life just, yeah.
That's exactly it as well. That's it. And it's like you can spend, like I've spent 3-4 years trying to do production, and I just can't get my head around it. Yeah. And I've thought about paying for a course, but then at the same time, it's like, I don't know if it's going to work. And I'm like, I'm lucky because now I just do bar and pub work, which I'm quite happy with, even though I have to play Dancing Queen every single Friday and Saturday and Sunday and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's like, you know, if you make a track and then it doesn't work, or you don't know people to push it out there, and then, you know, maybe 6 years later, it's like Bag Raiders almost as well. Yeah. Like Shooting Stars. I knew about that song right back when like a year after they made it, and I loved that song. Yeah. And then it's like they weren't that big, and then someone makes a meme out of them, and then look at them, they're touring the world again.
Yeah. Well, I look at like Sandstorm. Yeah. That tune was huge, but then it like obviously dipped off, and then Peking Duck plays it at a festival again, and then it just kind of goes viral, and he's touring off that single song again.
That's exactly it. Yeah. And that's what it can be like, but it's just, music is so, you know, it's subjective, and it's just so hard to figure out. Yeah, in a way, like
it really is. I guess at the same time though, like if you're making songs for the outcome of it going popular online, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
That's
like,
exactly it.
And I had to remind myself a lot about that, especially coming back into music. Like when I was, you know, before I took my break and stuff, my goal was like, you know, I want to make music and I want to tour off it and I want to like become a big established artist. And I think that's why I put so much pressure on myself, because it was like, I need to make songs that people are going to like, and I need to make songs that are going to get big. And when that didn't happen, I would be so hard on myself. And now I'm like, I think I've come into it with such a bigger mindset. And I guess the 4 years have been a bit of a self-growth journey, and coming into music now, I've kind of, I guess in a way, almost sort of set myself some boundaries where it was like, you know, yes, I would still love to tour around the world from my music, and I would love to become a big established artist, but at the same time, like I should be having fun doing it. And if that doesn't happen, that's okay. Like it's actually funny. There's a quote that like popped into my head today that I heard a little while ago, and it was like, I actually screenshotted it. I don't want to read it out wrong, so I'll just pull it up. Good.
I was going to say as well though, it's just one of those things where it's like if your passion feels like a chore, then it's like
that's why I took a break too.
Yeah, and then you got to figure out a new passion almost kind of thing, because it's like, well, not figure out a new passion, but figure out ways to make it a passion again.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's like, it shouldn't feel like a chore. It shouldn't feel like a full-time job. It shouldn't, well, not a full-time job, because so many people have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't feel like a struggle.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You shouldn't feel like, oh, I can't be bothered going to work today.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, shout out to Gengar, because he's just such...
I love Jared. I haven't seen Jared in such a long time.
He's an amazing, legendary Pokemon, honestly. He's just so cool.
He really is. He's not even a human being. He's just an entity. Like, he's just... Yeah. Every time I see that dude, he's just got a giant... massive hug ready. Yeah, he's such a nice guy.
He's a teddy bear, a ginger teddy bear.
Yeah.
Ginger ninja.
He needs to start putting his clothes back on though.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly it. Good old fringe shows. I was actually talking about that today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, you saw his fringe shows, right? Where he just gets down in his undies.
I haven't, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Wait, Damo, can you please see if you can pull out that video? That's right. Yeah, it's the funniest video. But I just wanted to mention him because it's like, we had this massive talk about mental health and stuff like that. Yep. And it's like, if someone breaks your car window or something bad happens to you during the week, if we're getting booked to go and play somewhere, you have to put a smile on your face and you have to enjoy yourself.
Yep.
Because the crowd reads off you. And if you're not having fun, they're not going to have fun. And that's the biggest thing about it.
Even like when you're not even on stage, like you could be having a really shit day.
Yeah.
Or something's happened to you and you're at an event and you're not feeling very social. Someone comes up, tries to talk to you. You're like, not in a chatty mood. They're like, oh, that maker guy's a dickhead. He wouldn't even talk to me. And it's like,
right?
You don't know what's going on with me. Like,
exactly. And they don't see the full side, the full picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, just quickly, it's kind of one of the reasons why I actually started this, because I heard around town was like, okay, well, you either love him or you hate him. I was like, no, but I'm a nice guy. Like, no, like, come on. Like, and then I thought, well, if I put myself on camera live, then people get to see me for who I am instead of just being a tired, grumpy person sometimes.
Yeah.
Like 1 out of 10 times or whatever the case is. But the thing is, though, it's like we work late nights. Hospitality is hospitality. Like, people, sometimes it can be toxic, sometimes it can be loving and caring and great and the whole lot.
Yeah.
But it's just like late nights can cause different things to happen where people don't get sleep.
Yeah. But it's not even that low. Like, kind of going off the like people's perceptions of you and everything. I think like probably one of the hardest things I've sort of found while on my journey of being a DJ, I guess, is like, my personality comes across as quite a very what you see is what you sort of get thing. And I guess that can kind of rub people the wrong way, but and I guess I have like a confidence about me that can kind of get mistaken for arrogance, I guess.
Yeah.
And
it's one of those things you don't want.
It's really hard, but like everyone should have their own self-belief and everything, but at the same time try and stay grounded. I know how good I am, but I also know that, I'm not better than anyone.
That's it, yeah. And that's the way to look, that's the best way to look at it. It's like, don't get an ego.
Yeah.
Don't think that you're better than anyone. Yeah. But then at the same time, just be yourself.
Yeah.
And just have fun.
Yeah. I talk shit all the time, but
everyone talks shit.
Yeah.
Though, but, it's just don't talk shit about others. Yeah. Talk shit about, the overall thing or just having fun or this and that. Because then once you start talking shit about others, then it's like things can happen. It can come back to bite you in the ass, and that's when it's not good.
Yeah, well, it's like losers focus on winners. So
that's exactly
focus on yourself. Yeah, stay in your lane.
That's it. Stay in your lane. Yeah, do your own thing. Have fun, and just see where you go. See what happens. Because the thing is like, we're not going to be Skrillex. We're not going to be Sonny Moore and partying it up. But we don't know.
That dude's a genius. No one's ever going to be him.
Yeah, he's a genius. But it's like. Yeah. It's being a right place, right time potentially, or just having fun, or just going out and just enjoying yourself whilst you can.
Yeah. That was it's like one of the rules I kind of set for myself when doing music. It's like, I like to kind of draw inspiration from other artists, but like my number one rule is never listen to Noisia before making music. Because you listen to it, you go, I'm garbage. I'm garbage. I'm not making music now. Yeah.
Yeah. You can say that about almost everything. You say that about Fred v Graphics or Echo and Sidetrack, all those guys.
Yeah. No, they're good at what they do.
That's it. But they've put the hard yards in.
Exactly.
And that's where it's like one of those things where they probably locked themselves in their bedroom for 9 months grinding away at their laptop.
Exactly.
And just watching their CPU load just bounce and just spike and crackle and pop and then the laptop crashing.
Yeah. And then they're like, fuck, I need to get another laptop.
That's it. But it's the dedication and it's the passion behind it.
Exactly.
And that's what makes the industry so good, when you meet people that are just in it, not very in it to win it. They're literally in it just to have fun, have a great time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of where I was sort of going back to.
Have you got the quote?
I do. I have it up here.
Here we go.
So the quote is, as long as you accept any dream you may have might not go to plan, you'll still feel fulfillment by the pursuit of that dream. So just because you don't achieve your goals, you should feel good about it, that you gave it your all and the journey that you went on, which is kind of like what I'm trying to do now, where it's like, wherever and however long this thing goes, like, I'm fulfilled with the goals that I've achieved. Like, I remember when I started getting into this, I was like, I want to play at Shape, I want to play at Metro City, I want to play interstate, and I want to play overseas, and I've done all of that.
Yeah.
I want to have a song signed to a label. I've done, and it doesn't matter what label. Like, you know, people are like, oh, I want to get signed to Viper or Hospital and stuff. Like, cool, set those as your goals. Those aren't mine. If I get there, sick. If I don't, fine. It's all good.
The thing is, though, is you still checked off things on your list, and your list is ever growing, which is a good thing, because you know, you don't want to just check everything off and be like, all right, now what?
Yeah, cool, I'm done.
That's it. It's like, all right, I'm done. We'll do something else. But to have your list ever growing, it's just like self-development.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing that a lot of people should do, is set goals and challenges. Yeah. Just that way you can...
realistic goals.
Yeah, that's it. Realistic goals. But saying you want to get signed to Hospital, that's realistic. Because the thing is, it could happen. You don't know. Like, it could happen. Like,
London Electricity, sign me, please.
It's like, if anyone's listening, this guy. This guy.
Hey, Fred, do me a favour.
Yeah, help a guy out. Help Maker out.
Yeah. No, but I think the goals that I've kind of set for myself now are more just like, just enjoy what I do.
That's
it. And just like learn and like perfect my craft and what I do. And I guess like, the work you put in, the rewards come with it.
That's exactly it. And it's just it's like your own personal rewards as well. Because the biggest thing is, like, no one likes a bragger. You know, like...
No.
And the thing is that, like, it's not... You know, like, obviously I got you on here to talk about the achievements and stuff. So that's not bragging, in my opinion. That's me wanting to know about you and stuff like that.
So it's not bragging if someone asks.
That's it.
There's the loophole.
Humble.
That's it.
Yeah. But it's one of those things, though. It's just like... Your own personal achievements, you can look back, like, you know, I've said this to a few friends when I was growing up and stuff like that, when I was like, because I'm 28 now, but when I was like 22, 23, 24, 25, right? And it's like, over the whole course of your whole life, would you say that you've achieved everything you wanted to achieve? No, of course not.
No.
But have you had fun doing the things that you've done to try and get where you want to be? And you might not have achieved things,
journey,
but you've learnt along the way.
Yeah.
And that's happiness in a way, in my opinion. That is happiness.
Yeah.
Because then that way you've gone, like, you know, well, I've had fun along the way. Yeah. And that's what matters.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah. Because you can't just stay in the dumps. You know, you gotta, if you're in the dumps, you gotta think about, like, you know, because sometimes, you know, like, with depression and everything like that, people can't help it. But it's one of those things where it's like, you got to think about the good times and try and get back up on the horse and have fun. Like. Yeah. But obviously people go through different things, and it's such a complicated subject.
It is a very, very, very complicated
Dim the lights, we're going back in the Twilight Zone.
We're going deep on this one. Yeah.
This is a good episode. Yeah. So, all right, let's segue into production.
Okay, sure.
So how do you get, like, you're producing Ableton, FL Studio, what do you use?
FL, I've always used it.
Really?
I've tried to...
go on, sorry.
I've tried to go into Ableton, but, like, I've opened it up and gone, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just going to go back to FL.
See, I tried the same thing. Like, I've been using... every night before bed, I used to watch an FL Studio tutorial. Yeah. And just, like, 40 minutes, an hour, whatever it would be, right? Yeah. Before I have to go to class in the morning. But the thing is with that is, like, I learned all the shortcuts, all the hotkeys, and learned how to do things, so I still couldn't put things together. Yeah. But then I tried to... Everyone said, everyone said swap to Ableton, do it, it's amazing, this and that. And I tried to do, like, an Australia day, like, I had a Launchpad and try and do this, like, Launchpad mashup recording thing. Yeah. It's freaking impossible. Like, for me, it was impossible. It's so hard. Yeah. But then it's like, everyone still says it's the way to go, right? Like, well, in a way, like, Afrojack uses FL Studio. I'm pretty sure Martin Garrix uses FL Studio. Yeah, there's still Spore uses FL Studio. That's it, like, there's a lot of guys that still use FL. I think... Like, at the end of the day, it's whatever works for you. And if you think your music sounds good, who cares what you use? That's exactly it. If you use a fucking music maker app on PlayStation or your phone and it sounds deep. Like, Tesla has a music production thing now. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Who cares what you use? At the end of the day, like,
the workflow and like, yes, there are some native plugins to each app, but most people are using like third-party plugins anyway.
That's exactly it as well. Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
And that's the thing. You can apply that to Pioneer and like using
Rekordbox and Tractor.
Yeah, that's
Who cares?
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. But then, like, I've met people in the past been like
Apple phones, however.
Yeah, that's it. Should we bring up that article?
Yeah,
you're only using it for Facebook and calling, but who cares?
So this is a little tiny bit off subject, but Apple are trying to make cars with Hyundai. They approached Nissan, and Nissan told them to piss off, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why was because Apple wanted to make it so they were 100% Apple cars. It wasn't like a Nissan car with Apple inside. It was going to be just like Apple badges and the whole lot.
Yeah, right.
So Nissan told them to bugger off. Then they went and partnered with Hyundai, I'm pretty sure. I think a deal's fallen through, but they're trying to get into the electric car market now. And so is Sony.
Sony?
Yeah, Sony's making electric cars soon.
Hopefully there's like some CDJs on the dashboard or something.
Yeah, well, that's Pioneer, but you know.
Oh, yeah, whoops, sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Wait a minute.
Where did they get Sony from?
But that's also what I was going to say as well. It's like, you know, the whole thing where it's like brand loyalty is a thing.
Oh, it really is.
But then it's like saying the industry club standard. I mean, I guess it's the industry club standard because they're everywhere. But it's like apples and oranges. You know, Jimi Hendrix uses a specific guitar. We were talking about this last week, right? Like, if you learn on a 4-string guitar and then you try and learn on a 6-string guitar.
If you learn on a 4-string bass and you try and play a 6-string bass, it's very tricky.
Yeah, it's very, very different.
Very different.
Yeah.
Extremely different. Yeah.
Mr. Audiophile over there.
I think with club standard though, it's because like
it's so easy because you rock up with a thumb drive and your headphones, away you go.
But also, I mean, I guess probably until recently, and still, I guess, Pioneer dominated the market. Like,
that's it.
It was club standard because Pioneer was like Denon's come in with these new CDJs. I've never used them, but I've heard like pretty good things about them.
Yeah, everyone's
like,
said great things about them.
Like Pioneer dominated the DJ market. Like even with like turntables, like Technics were the club standard like vinyl turntable because they were the best ones to use. Yeah. What is your cat's name? Because
Sassy.
There's a really good cat, eh?
Yeah, Sassy the Sasquatch.
Adorable.
Sassy the Sasquatch. What are you talking to me?
That's it. He's a great little guy.
Yeah, it's like Pioneer was the best, and I think that's what the club standard. Why it's the club standard, and to be honest, it probably will stay that way. Like Pioneer will just dominate the DJ market forever.
They've done the right thing, and they managed to get in there, and then it's just like however it works, but it is the standard kind of thing.
Yeah, that it is.
But then that's like what, as I said, like I've said in this last episode, I'm pretty sure, where I get little foam battens and I actually put them on top and then put my tractor on top. And a lot of people don't like me for that, but I'm like, nah, check the emails. Yeah. And there are no emails.
Yeah,
like,
nice.
It was like, because when they come to me, they're like, oh, you know, you can't use that. I'm like, no, check the emails.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Talk to the boss. And then there is
said it's
boss.
all good.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
But yeah, what were we? Production.
Production, yeah.
That's right.
Back to production.
Back to production.
Sorry for segue.
It's all right. We're going deep.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing that for?
I mean, like, I guess producing seriously, maybe like 8 years or so. I started producing Happy Hardcore, and I was making that for a while. Like I had some help from some pretty cool friends, like especially like most of my production is self-taught, but like there used to be, I don't think he's so much in the scene anymore, but Ozcore, he was a pretty big producer in Australia. Like he got a tune on Clubland, like Darren Styles remixed one of his songs.
Really?
Even another guy, Searle, like you would have heard the song Pretty Rave Girl. You definitely would have heard. If you'll know it if you heard it.
Well, I don't know if we can play it.
You can't play it. No.
Pull it up just so we can see what it looks like, though. Because
I'll pull up the lyrics.
Because I'm visual and audio kind of thing. Yeah, also, did you pull up Genga's video?
No, I couldn't find it.
Oh, it's right down the bottom of his videos on Genga.
Oh, I can find it.
Yeah, it's called Untitled, I'm pretty sure, or something like that. We got to play that at the end, though.
Oh, fuck, wait, Shirley's...
Oh, yes, I know this Pretty Rave Girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that song. The song's a banger.
Yeah, and so, is he from Perth?
No, he's from Brisbane.
Oh, I was about to say, but still from Brisbane. Holy shit.
So, yeah, when
like some Dutch guy who wrote a terrible...
the Dota, Bass Hunter.
I thought he was like... Did not know proper English.
Yeah, so I think this original song was like Daddy DJ or something, and then Bass Hunter did remake of it, called it Dota, like after the game. And then Searle did Pretty Rave Girl, which is, it's all in the same tune. I think, well, Dota and his one got pretty big, but yeah, like when I got into production, I saw him play at a rave, and I think I messaged him on MySpace about it. And like, yeah, we just started talking, and then we just like back and forth for a while, and like he would send me like his tunes he was putting out, and I think a couple of it would have been like maybe like 5-6 years ago, we actually started making a tune together that never got finished.
That's sick.
I actually found it the other day and sent it to him. I was like, dude, we have to get this, like I have to finish this.
Yeah.
This is sick. And then yeah, I just like was making hardcore for a couple of years, and then yeah, when I got into drum and bass, it kind of naturally progressed to that, and started making that. I found with drum and bass, because it's such a bigger genre, it was a lot harder to like crack into, especially with and production wise, drum and bass is a very hard genre to produce.
It is.
It is really hard. Like there's just so much to it. Like hardcore, I found, you know, it's a kick, it's a bass, and there's like some. Obviously, I'm dumbing it down, but yeah, drum and bass is just so complex, especially with like EQing and everything. Like you could write a really good song, but the EQing part, just getting it all to glue together nicely, it's just, yeah, it's crazy. But I found that quite difficult, and I guess even still now, like the songs I'm making are some of the best songs that I feel like I've written, but I'm still not quite where I want to be.
How many songs have you written in total, do you reckon?
Like including hardcore as well? Or,
yeah, the whole lot, yeah.
I've probably made about like 20 to 30 songs, but I've put out probably maybe half.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a lot of stuff that I've made that I'm like not happy enough to put out. It's kind of funny though, like the songs I make, and you put them out on SoundCloud and they'll get a couple of thousand plays, and there's this one song that's on my SoundCloud. It kind of just sums up my DJ career as a whole. You remember when Man's Not Hot was a big thing, like Big Shaq? Yeah, so I made like a drum and bass edit of it, right? And I put it on SoundCloud, and it's like got like 60,000 plays.
Really?
Yeah, it's like...
Is it signed to anything?
No, it's just a piss take edit I put out.
Oh, do you reckon we could get away with playing it?
I reckon, you probably could. It's a mashup of a noisier tune and that. I don't know. Okay. It should be fine. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
If it's a mashup of noisier.
Yeah, I don't know if the Zuck will be able to hear the difference.
That's it. Yeah.
But
you might just go nope. Bam,
hammer. I put it out, and like I've had like, you know, the guy that runs like Liquicity, like he hit me up because he wanted it, and yeah, it's like 60,000 plays on SoundCloud. It's just like,
that's,
you know,
pretty good.
You make these original songs and you work so hard on them, and then, you know, they do okay, and then you make a piss take and it blows up. It's just like, my career is a piss take.
That's it though. It's one of those things, like, you know, shout out to Brandon Willington quickly as well. He made the literally fuck genres thing.
I did,
and that thing was like, it was a monster, honestly. But with that, like, it just...
I still remember it had the Wii theme song.
Yeah,
at the start with Seinfeld. Like,
yeah, exactly. Cooked. But that's what I mean though, and that took off. Dylan Francis played that at a party.
Really?
Yeah, he has a video of Dylan Francis playing, like, it was like, I think it was the In the Air Tonight part of it or something stupid like that. It's just... But that's it though. It's almost like meme culture in a way, right?
Yeah.
And that's where it can kind of like, it's virality.
Virality?
Yeah.
Virality?
Yeah, one of those words,
Virality.
But it's one of those things though, right? Where it's like, if you can make something, you know, and that just resonates with everybody, it can just shoot you off and away you go.
Well, it's even like DJ Detweiler did the flute remixes of things like the Mr. Happy song, and even Tarantula by Pendulum. It's like, instead of the vocals, it's like this really shitty recorder, and like that shit goes viral as well.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, even like what we were saying before was little Dota. Like, it's a song about a video game, and it's got pictures, like video. It's got the game in the music video clip, and away bass Hunter went.
Pretty much,
yeah. And he just took off.
Yeah.
And then it's just Botanata after that, or whatever it was. Botanana, I think it is. It's like his second biggest track.
Yeah, he had a couple, even like Now You're Gone as well.
Yeah, Now You're Gone.
The old Eurotrance.
Yep. Yeah. That's it, the classics.
Yeah, the golden era.
So, who taught you how to produce, or you just teach yourself?
Yeah, like, I mean, I guess it was self-taught. Like, I didn't pay to go to a course or any of that stuff. Yeah, like I have had people, you know, teach me the basics and tips and tricks and stuff, but most of it was all just trial and error and learning things myself. Good. Yeah,
that's really good. Like just YouTube tutorials as well, or Not really.
No,
wow.
Just it was just all like what sounds good and like I guess like I've taken things from what people have done and like tried to do it in my own way, or like habits that people have that I've tried to not replicate. It's all self. Like I've never, like, if people want to do it, cool, but I've never been the one to like pay for a DJ course or pay for a production course and stuff. Like if those people want to do it, like cool, good on them.
Yeah.
Each to their own. It's just not something that, I guess I'm from that kind of sort of era where you learn it all yourself and you grind until it works.
How many hours do you reckon you're stuck in then? Thousands?
Too many. Too many, dude. Too many.
But that's so good though as well. You're probably one of the only guests we've actually had that hasn't actually either paid for it or like looked at online tutorials and the whole lot. Like just
I think now, like more recently in the last couple of years, I have like pulled up, like if I'm like, how do I get that to do this, I'll pull it up, or even like sound design tutorials and stuff. Like I'll watch some of those, especially like learning the basics of like VSTs and everything. But even like DJing and stuff, pretty much all my DJing was self-taught. Like I would go to these raves and I would literally stand at the side of the stage and watch people mix and figure out how they would do it. Guys. I was like the old train spotter. Like, I wouldn't try and watch what tunes they were playing or anything, but like their techniques and how they mixed and stuff. I learned that all myself just by watching people.
That's how I learned as well.
I
used to follow a really good friend of mine around and just like go and hang out at the bars and the pubs and the clubs and just like watch how he did it.
Down there and scratch your chin.
And that's it, because he used the same equipment that I had, and I was like, well, holy shit, he can do that on this. I want to learn how to do that on this. And then it just learnt and mimicked in a way. And then from there, it's just like it helped me segue and network into getting into the industry kind of thing. But that's what it is. It's like, I put the hard yards and followed him around. And since I followed him around and showed that I was dedicated, now I'm doing it full time.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
It's one of those things, right?
That's it. Wow, you put in the work, the rewards will come.
That's exactly it. That's what a lot of people have the misconception about as well.
Yeah, they want it all right now.
That's it.
I guess I have a bit of an issue with that. Like I'm very impatient. So like I'm one of those people where I'll like open FL, start writing a song, 3 hours later go, nah, it sounds like shit, I'm done.
Really?
I want it all now, but I've got it. That's just who I am though. Like, you kind of want the world at your feet, but you sometimes do forget that you do have to put the hard yards in.
That's it.
But that is sort of something that I'm trying to push past, where I can't have everything at once and I've got to work for it, especially after taking such a long break and then coming back into a scene. I do have to like work my way back up a bit. I mean, I do have, I'm still friends with everybody and like I'm, with all I know the promoters and stuff, but I guess like I can't really just like waltz back in and be like,
that's exactly
sup
it.
Bitches. Like,
that's it. Just walk in and be like, all right,
book me this set.
I want a gig and I want prime time. Doesn't work like that at all.
But I've been lucky enough since I've come back. Like I've put some music out and I got to play a headline show a couple of weeks ago, which was really awesome. And I've got, a couple of shows coming up soon, but it's all working out nicely and it's going at like a pace that's good for me. It's not everything at once, like it's just and I get to enjoy it as well.
It's just happening as you go.
Exactly.
Just enjoying it.
Pretty much.
That's it. So you said that you've also made a track that we might be able to play just recently.
Yes, I have.
How do we find it?
It's on my SoundCloud. So it's on Spotify too, but we'll go on SoundCloud. We'll get my SoundCloud plays up.
And also, Damo, did you find the Ganga video?
Wait, is it on your PC? Is it on?
No, you go on Ganga's Facebook page and then you scroll down. I think it's like third from the bottom or something like that.
I'll find it. Man.
Trust me, when you watch it, you'll be like, God damn.
It's just Ganga things.
Yeah. It's him in his undies, so
not surprised at all.
That's it. It's his advertisement.
What's the track called, man? And
it is called Destroy. It's aggressive and loud.
Well, it's very funny because it's by a guy called Maker.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, but it's about destroying.
Yeah, it's funny because when I like tried to get back into production, I think I was listening to like a lot of like Netsky and Wilkinson and Subfocus, like all the. I don't want to say like the dance floor guys, and then I was like, this is the sort of stuff that I want to write, and then I make this. It's
Let's have a listen.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, before we really start, let's get desktop audio going, so they really can hear it.
It's not a bad intro. They can hear us over the top as well.
Oh, cool. I was like, can we talk during this? Or? Yeah. Yeah, so this was the first original song I put out after coming back after a 4-year break. But I put a Zomboy remix out about 2 weeks before that too. So yeah.
How well did the Zomboy remix go?
It's doing okay. I think it's just hit over 1,000 plays. I think I can't see from here, but yeah.
This is pretty cool. I got the kind of the orchestral vocals in the background. Can you turn it down a little bit, Damo? That's right. Up a bit. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Oh! Obviously, we turned the bass down as well because it echoes through the microphone.
Yeah,
but they can hear the full thing though, which is good.
Yeah, cool.
Pretty fucking cool.
Thank you.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
People would definitely get down to this.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had some cool feedback. I sent it to Al Hornet from Pendulum, and he said he was he liked it. I don't know if he'll play it, but it was cool to get some positive feedback from him.
Yeah, that's great. It's Al Hornet. He's a pretty big name.
Dude's a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like you got your breakdown now.
Yeah, got the breakdown.
Yeah. So how long did it take for you to make this as well?
I think I was like pretty lucky with it. It kind of just sort of wrote itself as it went along, and I think because it was sort of one of the first songs I wrote, I was just in such a creative headspace, and I think the first thing that sort of came from it was the bass pattern, and it was just like, wow, okay, cool. And then everything just kind of went on from there, and I think it maybe took me maybe about a month to complete to where I was happy with it. That includes I think the mix down was probably the thing I struggled the most with. It was just because there was so many sort of components with it, and probably about a month.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
A month is pretty good.
Yeah, you do get some songs though where you can write them pretty fast, or you have them where you're just grinding for months, just trying everything and getting nowhere.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I remember watching an interview where Dylan Francis said he can make a song in 3 days. But that's Dylan Francis though. But the thing is, sometimes it can be like 6 months for someone to make a song.
Well, the Zomboy remix below it, I think I made that in a day.
Really?
It just because it was it was more of a drum and bass flip of a dubstep tune, so pretty much everything was there for me to work with, but it just kind of wrote itself again.
Yeah. All right, can you pause the demo if that's all right?
But
that's pretty damn cool, I have to admit.
Thank you.
That's a dance floor filler.
It's a banger.
Yeah. So I was going to ask, so someone that's starting to get into production and stuff like that, what tips could you give them in a way, like a beginner?
If you like sitting in a room listening to the same fucking sound over and over and over and over again, become a music producer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, if you also are a masochist and like self-punishment, become a music producer. Yeah. No, I'm kidding, but I'm sort of not. No, I guess jokes aside, if anyone kind of wants to become a music producer, just kind of remember that to have fun while you're doing it. If you lose, the original thing of having music is having fun, whether you're playing it or making it. You should always be having fun and enjoying it. And if you're doing it for other reasons other than that, then you're in it for the wrong reasons.
That's it, yeah.
I guess technically wise speaking, find a program that works for you, watch tutorials, and just, I guess, figure out what works for you and what doesn't. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of just stumbling my way through it as well. So
yeah, well, it's one of those things. As I said, like you got to put the effort in. You got to grind it out.
Yeah.
If you don't try, you don't know.
Exactly.
But then sometimes the music production, because it's engineering almost. It's sound engineering.
Yeah, it is.
And it's pretty full on.
It's very full on.
Like as you were saying before, when we were playing, it's like a mix down. So like, what was involved in the mix down? Why do you have trouble with that? Because it's just like. Just trying to EQ everything right in a way, or something like that. Or?
Yeah, trying to EQ it, trying to get like my low ends to like be there but not be too like muddy, and also like everything's just got to sit where it's supposed to be. And also because I was producing on some like HD25s, which are not production headphones at all whatsoever. So
HD25s, can you look that up?
They're like Sennheiser HD25s. They're incredible DJing headphones. They're absolute garbage for production. Because
they're the little small cans.
The ones everyone uses. Yeah. Because I didn't have my monitors because after I took a break, I sold everything. So I've only just recently I bought a controller and I bought some small 5-inch JBL monitors that aren't really for production. So yeah, and I just wanted to make music again, so I just used the HD25s.
That's pretty good output for just having yeah. Everyone swears by those.
They're industry standard. But
they're pretty good though, because you can screw the 3.5mm jack and the 1/4 together though.
Yeah. So and if they break, any part on that is replaceable.
Exactly.
Well. Yeah. No, they're sick headphones, but I'm never going to produce on them again. I think it was just because I wasn't mixing on such good headphones. I think like getting my highs to be there also, but not like just drown out everything else, and just to get everything sit where it was, and also because I hadn't been doing it in such a long time as well, just trying to like relearn everything as well.
Get back into it. Get back into the swing of it kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's getting there, and I think I'm finding like sort of my own sound, whether it sounds like similar to that or whether I just start making liquid D&B, who knows.
See, that's the thing, liquid D&B is pretty cool, but so is that.
It is. Yeah.
It's also one of those things, it's like, because we can segue into like the scene in a way. Has anyone commented at all, by the way?
Yeah, Lucky Dylan has, yeah.
Oh, Lucky Dylan, really?
Yeah. He said, and I quote, "I find it hard to support a goal or passion that doesn't provide and make me live to my day-to-day things. Hardest part is finding the happy medium. There's goals and achievements I want to accomplish, but I can't live my life comfortably and affording things when I commit to these goals."
That's a big question.
Yeah, it's a big question, eh?
Say it once more.
Yeah, can you repeat that?
Let's analyze this.
I find it hard to support a goal or passion that doesn't provide and make me live today to do my day-to-day things. Hardest part is finding the happy medium. There's a goal and achievements I want to accomplish, but I can't live my life comfortably and affording things when I commit to these goals.
I think with that is you need to like manage your goals and also manage your hobbies as well as like your real life.
Find the perfect balance.
Like they always say, like, if you want to get far in doing something, don't have a plan B, because if you have a plan B, then you're like, if this doesn't work out, and you're not as hungry for it. But at the same time, I guess in this day and age, in this industry, not industry, but this economy, you kind of have to be, I don't know, like. I want to get far in music and stuff, but I've got like a pretty decent, I'm a recruitment consultant, so I've got like a decent job that I like, if the music thing doesn't work out, I've got that to fall back on. But it's hard. It's like you've got to manage everything, because if you put too much into your job, you're going to be doing that but being fucking miserable because you don't have any hobbies outside of it. If you commit all to your hobbies, you're going to be broke. Unless your hobbies are something that will make you money.
True.
I don't know. That's a difficult one.
That's a great answer, though. Honestly, that was actually a pretty good stab.
It's just balance. You got to balance everything.
That's it. You got to be flexible about everything. You got to balance it out. It's like with me as well. Like I've been doing it for 10 years, but I used to do house parties and stuff. Yeah. I had a part-time job. I used to be a security installer. Yeah. And the thing is with that is I was crawling through roofs, laying cables, and stepping on rat shit and seeing dead possums and the whole lot. And it's just like some houses with the roofs, it's just horrible.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things like what we were saying before. It's like being in the right place at the right time, or being able to figure out a way to be able to make it work almost.
Yeah, it's all about balance.
That's it. It's finding the balance. And it's just being able to just think outside of the box of just how to make, how to make things happen.
Yeah.
Because it's also like, say like with my job as well. Like I'm a full-time DJ, but I have quiet nights. And believe me, when I have quiet nights, it does get to me. It's like, oh,
FOMO.
Yeah, it's just like if I go out and play in Scarborough or something like that, and it's a quiet night, then it's like I'm not making as much money as I'd like to be making, but at least I'm making a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, though, you got to be able to be flexible to make it work.
Yeah, for sure.
Because nothing is always. There's always two sides to the story, two sides to the coin.
Yeah,
it's like what you're saying before as well. The DJ pages, you always see people like glitz and glamour. But on Instagram, it's like, look at me, and I'm like, I'm rich, and I've got a Rolls Royce or whatever it is. It's probably not their Rolls Royce. It's probably someone else's.
What did I see? I think I was watching something yesterday, and it was like, you see someone who's renting a Lamborghini, and they take a photo of them with that Lamborghini on Instagram. That's now their Lamborghini, according to Instagram.
That's it, according to Instagram.
Yeah.
But that's it. And it's like, it's all face value. It's all, like picture value or whatever.
I mean, I guess you could call it's fake, really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, it's it's like with this as well. I'm not going to make any money out of this. I know I'm not going to make any money out of this. This is a pure hobby.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love doing this because I get to meet so many people doing it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, am I going to stop doing it? No, I don't. I don't want to stop doing it. I'm going to try and make it work as long as I can. Yeah. Because it's a great hobby.
Posture check.
But it's one of those things though, right? Because it's like you got to find balance.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing with me with music. It's like, I've never been into music for the money. Like, sending invoices, I'll do it when I remember. I'm like, I need you to send me this. Like,
for me, it's like every Monday. Like, I gotta, because I don't get paid.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's never been about the money for me. I just do it because I like DJing, and I guess I probably like DJing more than I like making music. But yeah, it's just, they come hand in hand.
That's it. Yeah. That's a similar thing with me as well. It's even though I have to play Flow Rider Low or freaking Dancing Queen week in, week out, being able to see people smile and have a great time, that's so much more worth it than $.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could be sitting in an office like hating yourself.
Well, that's it, right? But it's not so much hating yourself, because at least you've got, I was saying this to a mate of mine the other day, where it's like you've got the dedicated paycheck.
Yeah.
Where it's like with me, like I could go and do a gig that's supposed to be 6 hours. Yeah. And it turns out to be 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if I only get 2 hours and I only get X amount of dollars, then it's like, I get to live off of like, $2 bread.
Yeah. It's meagering this week.
That's it. Vegemite sandwiches all week.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened in a long, long time.
Yeah.
But it's also being able to then, it's like referring back to Lockie's comment as well. It's like throwing your passion into it. It's like what we were saying with Gengar as well, combining it in a way. It's like if you go to work and you're not happy and you're not into it, your boss sees that.
Yeah. It shows in your work.
That's it. It shows in your work. And, if I go out and I'm in a really grumpy mood, instead of doing 6 hours, I'll probably only do 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because people look at me and go, oh, he's grumpy. He doesn't want to talk to anyone, this and that. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Because it's all about setting a vibe almost as well. And that's, it's one of those things. It's being passionate in your work and being passionate in your daily life. Like just going about everything in the right way instead of letting, all these, don't let negativity change the way you are, I guess you could say.
Yeah, don't let like people's negativity change the way you are. It, That's another thing that like comes in with the scene as well. Like there is like, I guess I honestly like coming back into the scene, like especially with like amongst DJs and stuff, I'm actually like super happy about how everyone like gets along and helps each other out. Like before, I sort of left it for a bit, everyone kind of had their own crew and they all kept to themselves, and
it was cliquey,
they all kind of talked shit about each other. Now everyone gets along with everyone. It's fucking awesome to see. Like it's really really cool.
It is really good, and that's what it's like. It's togetherness as well. Right? And it's so good that the industry has changed and become that. Yeah, because it is once again one of those things where it's like it should be about the passion, about the music. Yeah. It shouldn't just be about like, oh, you play there. Yeah.
It's not like the Perth music scene's like stagnant or anything, is it?
That's it. All right, let's segue to this. So you watched Tim's episode, right? Shout out to Tim, by the way. He's almost got 500 views on his episode. So happy that people have watched him. He's a great guy. I love him to bits. Really, really, really cool dude.
Just gonna have a little, Just gonna have a little read.
But we were discussing before the episode about the scene being stagnant almost.
Yeah, so I got a little bone to pick. No, I don't have a bone to pick. So I was watching the episode, and yes, it was said that the Perth music scene was stagnant, and I've got to disagree, if I'm going to be honest.
But that's fine though. Like,
yeah,
it's a discussion. Yeah,
everyone
has different opinions. Someone could be Liberal, someone could be Labor, someone could be Greens, or whatever the case be.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think
anti-vaxxers exist.
Oh, fuck, we're going down that one, aren't we?
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, I don't think the Perth music scene. Well, I can't just say I don't think it is. I've got to kind of elaborate. I think the Perth music scene is incredibly vibrant. If you even like. There's so many different, like, especially with electronic music, there's so many different guys doing different things. Like, you got the Blender crew, like, you've got Motive, like, Emily and Harley, Inhibit, like, they're killing it. You got Inhibit, like, they just sold out Metro City with Delta Heavy, like, that was the only show going on in the world at the time. You got Wildflower guys like, doing house parties. You got Andy doing extended play. You've got the Habitat parties. Like, there's just so much going on, and not even just Perth music. Like, Perth's always had like a healthy metal scene as well. Like, that's something. Like, when I'm not listening to DMB, I'm just listening to metal. Perth's got like a healthy like metal scene. I think if you think the Perth music scene is stagnant, you're not going out enough.
I feel like we're in a bubble though, almost.
Yes, and that was sort of another thing I was going to elaborate on. I think if you're comparing the Perth music scene I wouldn't call the Perth music scene it's stagnant. I would call the Perth music scene its own thing. Yeah. Like, if you compare to say, which I think when he was saying it was stagnant, he was probably comparing it to Melbourne, which is where he was from. Melbourne's the entertainment capital of Australia.
Yeah, like, it's party zone. Yeah,
it's party zone. Like, you've got so many different things going on there, and you know you've got influences from Brisbane and Sydney where they're right next to each other. So.
We're just so isolated.
Isolated, but it's working. It's always worked. It's always been its own thing, and it's always constantly evolving. It's not stagnant.
I see, yeah. But I got to say as well, it's like we do cycles as well.
That's true.
And it's like with the cycles, like things fade out, things come back in. It's like how, like, you know, 5 years ago, it was all the bass scene in a way. And I'm not saying the bass scene's faded out, but now it's all house. House is kind of the new
house
thing
has come
now.
back,
And it's like with house coming in, you know, give it 4 or 5 years, then maybe dubstep will come back.
Yeah.
Or maybe drum and bass will be big again. But it's like, you know, it's the generations of kids, I'd say, as well, that decide where they want to go.
Yeah. I think as well. Drum and bass is definitely, especially with like Subfocus and Wilkinson just put out a new album. Dementia put an album out last week. Like, drum and bass is resurging. Netsky just put a new album out. Like, all these massive guys are putting new out. I'm just trying to think of anyone else I've missed. Nah, it'll come to me. I think dubstep's like in Perth has died off pretty hard.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately.
I think unfortunately that kind of became a product of its own environment because of how well treated people in Perth were. Like, you look before COVID, you know, you'd have like every single weekend there'd be an international. And I think in a way, trying to put this nicely, I think everyone was like a little spoilt for choice to the point where it really killed the Perth local scene, where they'd be like, why would I go to a local Perth show when I can wait next weekend and watch a triple headliner at Metro City? Like, Perth got very, very spoiled, and I think everyone got very entitled. Like, I remember one year, it really stuck out to me. It was at a festival, and I think Jaws was playing, and people didn't like the set time he was playing, so they made a petition to get him changed set time. Like, how fucking entitled can you be? That's how entitled can you be where an international DJ, it genuinely pissed me off when I saw it. So entitled that an international DJ comes to Australia to play and you're not happy with their set time, so you're like, I'm going to make a fucking petition to get it changed. Like, grow up.
That's
like,
it.
Grow up.
Yeah, it's not their choice at the end of the day. It's the event organizer. The event, you know, you never know, the day after you might have to go somewhere else and play another gig. So he's trying to get some sleep in before he finishes.
Yeah, but not even that. It's like, that's the set time. Fucking deal with it. If you don't like it, show up earlier or just don't go.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or just have to not go see the other artist or whatever it is. Like,
I remember,
if there's clashes and this and that, it's how it is.
I remember another thing that was a big issue, and I think I think that's probably why they stopped doing it, was when Origin would come. Like, when Origin was on in Perth, one of the big things about Origin was the sideshows. Like, I remember seeing Chase and Status and Netsky at Shape. Like, when would you ever see that?
That's
like,
it. Yeah.
Like, well, these days, like, that would never happen.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where people wouldn't go to the festival because they'll be like, oh, I'll just watch the sideshow. It's like,
Yeah, that's it.
Come on, come on.
And then it's like, how did the festival survive? Because like, look at Perth in a whole as well. We had Soundwave, Stereosonic, Big Day Out, nothing.
I feel like Soundwave and Big Day Out died because of old, what's his name, AJ? AJ Matter, the guy that ran Soundwave.
Oh, well, he just didn't pay anyone.
He owes a lot of money to a lot of people. I think he single-handedly killed that festival. And then he bought Big Day Out and ran that into the ground as well. Yeah.
So bad.
But I do agree. Festivals, fucking Soundwave. It's such a good festival.
It was
a great festival.
Such a
good festival. It was an amazing festival.
Yeah, AJ Matter. I don't even think I've...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he owes a lot of people a lot of money. Yeah.
Oh.
That's nuts.
I remember at one point, like, Slipknot was, like, chasing after him for money. Like, those are some dudes you don't want to owe money to. Like, imagine Corey Taylor knocking on your door.
Yeah, like, I've got a baseball bat and a keg of beer.
Yeah, literally. Like, I have a baseball bat.
That's it.
Yeah, those are some scary motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what's so whack, though, because people need to get paid.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks as well about Perth, because they have to travel so far to get them here. Yeah. You know, every single city is on the other side. We're on the other side, unfortunately. We're on the West Coast.
I think with live music, the logistics of being in Perth is a lot more difficult. Like, you know, you've got Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, all on the same coast.
Yeah.
Then you've got to like lug everything over. DJ's a little easier. It's just a human being, one person on a plane,
and a thumb drive.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, live music, it's a bit difficult. I think with like the festival side, I think like drug use came into play a lot there, especially with like overdoses and stuff. And I think it was just easier for like the politicians to just be like, nah.
But that's the stupid thing as well. The politicians kind of got way too involved, and it's one of those things where it should just pill testing should have been a thing.
Pill testing, absolutely. Yeah. Like they did the pill testing at Groove in the Moon, and it was a huge success.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, not enough evidence. It's like,
that's it. It's like, what are you talking about?
How much fucking evidence do you want?
Then you have a sniffer dog at Stereosonic over in Sydney or wherever it was, and then the girl takes like 4 or 5 pills and dies.
Yeah, well that happened here. I actually think, I remember when I moved to Australia, there was that girl at I think it was Big Day Out at Claremont, and she panicked and ate the drugs and died.
Yeah. And you don't
crazy.
Want that shit.
Yeah. Then they tried to do the amnesty bins. It's like, come on.
Amnesty bins where you just throw it in or
yeah, so you would get to the festival and there would be a bin and you could put your drugs in it, and if you you wouldn't get in trouble. Like even if there was a police officer standing next to it, if you put your drugs in that bin and walked away, like you'd be fine. Well, I'm not throwing my drugs away.
No, that's it. Especially if you go on people go and spend $50, $100, $200 or whatever it may be on it. Like. And like on top of that, because I remember like reading the reports about the whole pill testing thing, and it was just so, like they had like, you know, scientists at like universities doing this testing, and I remember one of them was talking about they tested these drugs and there was a substance in it that they actually didn't know had made its way to Australia. So this guy got on the phone to like the Minister of Health and said, this is in Australia now, we need to put it on our record. So it's like the research and development that they're doing in that as well is like stopping things from happening in the future. And also, you know, these people know what's in their drugs, and it's like, you know what is in this. It will kill you. Do you still want to take it? And they're going to go, no. As opposed to, this might be in your drugs. This may kill you. Would you take it? And they'll go, yeah, I'll take the risk. That's it. Yeah. That's exactly it.
People will make those choices. If something's presented to them as a 100% you are going to die, people are going to be like, no. Whereas 50-50, I'll take that risk.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's what's so whack. And it's just like the government just doesn't... Yeah. They just don't see the black and white picture of it. They just go, no, like, we can make more money out of it.
Yeah. The only thing that is winning the war on drugs is drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you've got countries like, I think it's Argentina, or is it Austria?
Is it Portugal?
No, it might be Portugal. Decriminalized everything. And it's like
yeah, they did.
And it's like with decriminalize everything, it's apparently like the drug use dropped.
Yeah.
Because it's like it also comes down to one of those things where it's like a stigma. It's like, you know, cigarettes are cool because, you know, like it gives you
alcohol.
Yeah, that's it. Look at alcohol as well. But it's like one of those things where it's like people know cigarettes are bad for them, but then they still smoke them because it's like the stigma that's been burnt in over time through movies and advertisements and everything else that's like, all cool people smoke. Yeah. And that's the same thing with pills. It's like, oh, we're renegades, you know? Yeah. We're not following the law, so we're going to pop some pills and have some fun.
But then also it's like, if you look at it, it's a cheaper alternative.
Exactly,
like, you know, well, me, because I'm a lightweight, but it's like I could spend, you know, $40 on a pill and have a really, really good night, maybe second day even, or I could spend
$200 on alcohol.
$200 on booze, and like I'm gonna be shit faced.
But that's also where it kind of doesn't balance out in a way, because like I would say honestly that like the way some pubs and bars and everything like that in Perth have started to struggle is because of the rise of the pill usage.
Yeah.
But even though it's been around forever, it's been around since the 90s, the 80s, 70s, 60s, whatever it is, right? It's one of those things where it's like now it's become back into popular culture, and with the kids doing it, 18, 19, 20-year-olds, instead of them going out to their pub to go for pre-drinks and, drink $10 jugs of beer, they go, well, no, it gives me a hangover. Yeah. I'm going to have a $40 pill and I'll be fine. Yeah.
And also, even on top of that, it's like, look at us, like... Drugs are great. Yeah, no, I don't.
Experts.
But even it's like if you have a pill and go out, you're gonna have a really good night. You're gonna make a bunch of friends. You're gonna talk a lot of shit. If you spend that much money on booze, you're gonna be really drunk. You might make a complete dick of yourself. You may get into a fight with someone because you're drunk. You may fall over and like seriously injure yourself.
Get kicked out of the club.
There's so many like negative factors involved with like drinking large amounts of alcohol, whereas having a responsible amount of, MDMA or whatever, like, I guess the cons are severely, like, in moderation, everything is safe.
That's it, yeah.
Depending on what you do.
I got to quickly say as well, like, I've only ever had 3 pills in my life, right? Had 2 bad times and I've had 1 good time. But then I was just like, I get anxiety attacks, unfortunately. Yep. But then with that, I've seen so many people, I've hung out with so many people that are just having such a wonderful time. And it just gives off that vibe. It's like they're great people.
Yeah, for sure.
They're talky, they're chatty, they just want to socialize and have a good night. But that's the misconception. Yeah. Where it's like, it's bad for you, it'll kill you and this and that. But then look at alcohol though. Alcohol
is
and
bad
cigarettes
for you and will kill you.
Yeah, they're literally poison that are sold through the hospitality industry in a way. But the culture's built on top of that.
Yeah. But then at the same time, like I think there's, and I would really hope that the mindset gets like grown out of where it's not like I'm going to go out and I'm going to have a pill and I'm going to have a really good night. It's like I'm going to go out and I'm going to take as many pills as I can and I'm going to get as fucked up as humanly possible. That's not a good mindset to have, and that's half the reason why all this shit is happening, because you go out and you're like, what if you had tonight? It's like, I've had 13 caps, like I can see sounds. I
can see sounds. Yeah. I had a mate that he'd go out and have 8 or 9 pills, and I'm just like, how are you walking? How are you not on the ground having a seizure? Yeah. But then the thing is though, they build that tolerance up to it, and they just love it to bits, and they don't moderation. Yeah. Moderation is key with everything.
Yeah, if you have a responsible amount of whatever you're having, you are going to have a good time. Like, don't get me wrong, I've had nights where I've gotten completely blitzed on like way more shit than I should have, and like that was dumb, and I shouldn't have done it. But
you learn from your mistakes.
You learn from your mistakes. I'm never going to do it again.
That's it. No. You realize like, I don't know if I can do that.
No, but like, just fucking don't be an idiot. That goes with everything. Just don't be a dickhead.
That's it. Yeah. It's like the motto of everything, right? Yeah. Just don't be a dickhead.
Don't be a dickhead.
Just have fun and just enjoy life whilst you can.
Exactly. Going back to it, if you're going to do something, remember, just have fun.
Yeah, and put the passion in it, kind of thing.
Have some fun.
Yeah. All right, well, we've got like 5 minutes left, 7 minutes left, I'm pretty sure.
Jesus.
Yeah, we're just rambling on.
We went down the rabbit hole there, didn't we?
Yeah, tonight's been a great episode, honestly. What else can we talk about?
So, did you watch the thing on the royal family last night?
No, not at all.
Who fucking cares, man?
I'm not watching those psyops.
Yeah, the psyops. Yeah, is that right, Damon? Right, can you please find?
I can't find the Gengar video. I went through all this shit going back to March. I couldn't find it.
No, I'll find it. I found it today.
March 2020. If you can find it, I can find the imagine this.
Wait, I literally just found it. I'm sending it to you right now, Damo.
Oh, thank you.
So, Gengar is such an amazing human being, and I hope he's watching. I don't think he's watching.
Imagine this. This is the
You've just been fucked by Psy. What?
Yeah, psychological warfare, bro.
Jesus. Okay.
That's the whole royal family cool shit, buds. I was watching it. I was like, watch 5 minutes. I'm like, this is just psyops.
I don't think that royalty has any place in like the world anymore. Like, you're not better than someone just because you popped out of like some higher up. Yeah,
that's it. It's a thing of the past, unfortunately.
I've seen a couple of memes about the royal family today that were pretty funny. Yeah,
I've seen a lot of memes about it. Oh. It's just one of those things, though. It's just like they think they're up there, but
like yes, they are, but God, they've done some like pretty fucked up shit over like the hundreds and hundreds of years, but they were mean to Meghan Markle, and that's going to make headlines. It's like, okay,
that's it.
Yeah.
The Murdoch media will pick that up.
Oh, fuck, will it ever?
Yeah. Did you find the video?
That news blackout on Facebook was one of the best things. That was the best week. It really was the best week.
It was pretty good, right?
It was so good.
No drama, no bullshit, no headlines.
No mouth breathers commenting on articles.
Yeah, if only it kind of stuck around with that.
Yeah.
So this is Genga's video.
Genga's super seductive. Bin bag disco fiesta.
That's amazing, right?
Oh, is that Willem Powerfish?
Yes.
Get the dogs.
But that's what I mean. Like, just a shout out to Genga. Like, he's so unique, and look where he
really is.
Does that, like, and doing that. You know, I saw videos from that night, and girls got naked and stuff like that, and guys got naked. People just got into it.
Really?
Because the DJ is just completely nude.
Yeah,
like he's in his undies, and I think he just got drunk by the end of the night. I'm pretty sure one of the girls just ripped his undies off or something.
Yeah, it's not Genga if he's not drunk and naked.
Yeah, yeah. But he's just, as I said, when we had that discussion about like, you know, mental health and stuff like that, he's got he's spot on with the whole lot.
Yeah.
Like, because you got to just put your smile on your dial and go out and do a job, because that's what we're getting paid to do at the end of the day. We're basically entertainers in a way.
Yeah, when you put it like that, really.
We really are just entertainers, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's a Nirvana song.
Oh, what?
We were just entertainers.
That's it, yeah.
Nirvana.
Is it actually at Nirvana?
That's a Nirvana song, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Yeah, Nirvana, yeah. Kurt Cobain. All right.
People can't see that, by the way.
No, tilt the camera up. We've got a big Kurt Cobain.
I was going to describe it for everyone. So there's a flag on the ceiling, and it is Kurt Cobain smoking a cigarette with an acoustic guitar in his hand.
That's pretty cool, man. It makes me want to smoke.
That this is actually around the wrong way, because he was a right-hander.
Right-hander.
No, he's left-handed.
Yeah. Is that the hand he was holding the gun in? Or?
I don't know.
He was actually left-handed, so it would be upside. It's upside down.
Yeah, right.
Do we have any more comments or anything like that as well?
It's just Lucky Dylan saying, looked at Mashed and Kushner, they're big for it, and it's the whole idea of making songs just to get internet famous.
They started the whole meme thing. Yeah,
they're classically trained, so they get a pass.
Yeah, they just put out a remix of a Northland song, actually.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if it's an official remix, that's not too bad.
It is, yeah. It came out on their remix EP.
That's not bad. It's pretty good.
Andy Princey goes, make a down south tour. So he does himself.
Let's do it. I love Princey. I got so much time for that guy.
See, I want to get him on.
Yeah, he's a guy that's been around for a while. So yeah, he'll have some cool stories. Actually, he was one of the guys that was over in Bali as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, when he comes on, I got to ask him questions about that. 100%.
I'm pretty sure he was.
And Tony Warden as well. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
He's in Bunbury as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he used to be resident at Exit nightclub way back in the day, and now he plays at Fitzy's all the time.
I played at Fitzy's.
Yeah.
I played at what was the one that was across the road from Fitzy's?
Oh, the club?
I think it was a club. I don't know.
Was it down the hallway, alleyway?
Nah, I don't even remember the name of it, but it was across the road from that hotel as well in Bunbury. I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
I remember these two guys, Jack Manoni and Jack Butler.
Yeah.
They did these gigs called Throwdown, and that was like when bass music was starting to pick up. Well, it was pretty popular in Perth. And I remember the first one was a house party. Bless you times 3. Bless you again. Fucking hell. Bless you.
Go on,
yeah, they did this house party, and there was maybe like 700 or 800 people at it. Like a tree caught on fire, like it was loose.
Holy shit.
And then they did this one at I can't remember what it was called. Princey, if you remember what it was, tell me. And I think it was like a 250 capacity club, and there was like 500-600 people in it.
Holy
it was
shit.
insane. It was so loose, and it was all locals.
Real.
Yeah, it was all local lineup. Yeah,
it's not bad. That's what you want.
It was hectic. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, they did well.
All right, well, let's wrap this up anyway. So, thank you so much, for coming on. This has
Not
been
a problem.
great.
Thank you for having me.
No, we've had such a good,
deep discussion.
Everything,
Not just about music either, which is
that's
good.
That's it. But that's the thing as well. It's like it's always good to dive into like the psychology behind this kind of the hospitality industry.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's just like a lot of people skip it over it.
Yeah.
Some people just think, he's just a bartender. But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah. You just make a song, or you just make noise.
Or you're just a producer. It's like
well, yes, I make noise. However,
but like what we said, it's sound engineering basically. It literally is like sound engineering.
Yeah. It's actually funny. My boss, because a Shock One song came on the radio, she was like, "Oh, I fucking hate drum and bass. Anyone can buy a noisemaker and make a song." And I was like,
"Yeah, go give it a go."
That's where you're wrong, but okay, whatever.
But people get this idea wrapped up in their head, and they just have no idea.
Yeah, you just gotta ignore it.
That's it, and it's just it's one of those things. And like I said, it's all about the passion.
That's it.
It's all about making music and playing music and just creating long-lasting memories and having a good time whilst you're doing it.
That's it.
Anyone that's doing it, I mean, like I said, like I do it as a full-time job, so I need to make money.
Yep.
But, I'm still having fun and enjoying every single little bit of it. I get excited when I get a big weekend. I can't wait to go and just play Dancing Queen to a bunch of drunk middle-aged women.
Yeah,
because it's just fun.
Yeah, cool.
But that's the thing. So it's like, it's all about the passion, having fun.
Yep.
So I'm going to engrave that somewhere.
That's
Get a tattoo about it.
Put it on your gravestone. It's all about passion, having fun.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. All right. So thank you, Damo, for doing your thing.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sam, honestly.
Yes.
It's been really good.
Thank you.
Yep. But,
we're going to have a close-up of Sam real quick.
Oh, what?
He's just having a close-up of Sam to like really emphasize. He's been a good guest.
A close...
No,
sorry, I just called you Sam Cameron.
I was going to ignore it.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I get bad with names sometimes.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
I ignored it. I was going to let it go.
Okay. Fuck. I feel bad.
Sorry. At least you did it. At least you did it at the end.
And we're still live. I called you Sam. Oh shit.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna keep me up all night.
It is. You're gonna 20 years from now. You're gonna wake up at 3 a.m. being like, oh fuck, I called him Sam.
Yeah. Why did I do that?
Yeah.
What the shit's wrong with me? I need to go to bed earlier. But yeah, cheers so much for coming on. Though.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
We're gonna be doing in a couple not a couple episodes. Maybe halfway or at the end of the year, we're going to start getting multiple guests on. So people that have come on before, and then new guests as well.
Yeah, sweet.
And then we're just going to be just a discussion about everything. Music related though. Obviously, we can't just dive into conspiracy theories and other shit.
I reckon you should do a conspiracy theory episode.
So yeah, a mate of ours, Dale, was trying to get it. We were discussing about how we wanted to make
Alex Jones on.
We were going to make a podcast called what was it called? Intellectual Wars.
Intellectual Wars.
We're going to copy the exact same intro.
He was like, bro, you got to make Intellectual Wars. I'm like, no. I'm like, god damn, it's already been taken, bro. We're like, come on, man. That's already a guy's shtick.
Yeah, well, that's it. Because he had Info-Wars, and we just copy his whole intro, copy his whole thing.
And then just Photoshop Intellectual on it.
Yeah, that's it.
That was fucking great.
It was actually funny because his whole thing about the frogs turning gay.
Yeah.
So the actual little thing behind it is they the water was actually being poisoned by, it was some sort of farming chemical, and it wasn't turning the frogs gay necessarily, but it was changing their reproductive system where they were turning into female. So they weren't gay necessarily, but it was actually pretty fucked up what was happening.
Yeah.
I just think he worded it wrong.
Yeah, I think he just got
Justice
heated,
for Alex Jones.
He got heated, bro. He was just a heated moment.
That guy is one crazy motherfucker.
Oh, he's lovely. He's amazing. He's banned from everything.
He really, he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
First it was Alex Jones, now it's Donald Trump. Being banned from social media.
Yep.
Although I'm not really sad about the latter.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
No.
All right, so this is episode 66, though. Thank you so much, Cameron.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
And also, you have to sign the board. Damo, can you pull up the board, please?
Am I doing it on camera?
Yeah, your head's still in the way. You can sign at the end, though. It's all good.
Oh, all right.
We don't want to we can't let people see your shitty handwriting.
All right, so this is episode 66, and next week, so I've just done the bookings again, we will be getting on Benjamin Gardner, and I know a little bit about him and don't know a little bit about him, so it'll be interesting to get his perspective on the music industry and what he's done.
Are you going to get his name wrong too?
Probably. Probably, honestly. Maybe not.
So, Jeremy.
I'm going to start it with
Do it at the start, yeah.
If you're watching, comment or
I'll
message me, I'll actually do it.
Do it.
Just for funnies.
Yeah.
Just for funnies. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, and then we'll see you guys next week. So,
gotcha.
Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and all this other bullshit.
All right.
You guys get that?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, that thing.
Social media, do it.
Please, plots.